The sunlight filtered through the panoramic windows of the United Earth Government's Assembly Hall, casting a soft glow over the faces of the world's representatives gathered for an urgent meeting. The air hummed with whispered discussions and the occasional tap of a holographic tablet being updated. Jack Turner, a seasoned linguist and diplomat, sat among the delegates, his gaze fixed on the large screen at the front of the room where the emblem of the Galactic Council shimmered. Today, he would receive the assignment that could define his career, representing Earth at a pivotal council meeting. General Marcus Ryan, a stern, imposing figure with a military background, approached the podium. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're here because the Galactic Council has extended an invitation, or rather, a demand to discuss Earth's tribute as a new member of the Council. The stakes are high, and we've chosen one of our best to stand for Earth." The room fell silent as all eyes turned to Jack. He felt a mix of pride and apprehension. He knew the demands were likely beyond Earth's current capacity, and the weight of this responsibility was immense. As the meeting adjourned, Jack was quickly surrounded by a group of advisors, including Dr. Leo Chung, a strategic analyst, and Sarah Bennett, a seasoned diplomat who had mentored Jack early in his career. "Jack, you're going to need a clear strategy going into this," Sarah said, her voice low and urgent. "The council members are tough negotiators. You'll need to push back hard against any exorbitant demands." Leo chimed in, adjusting his glasses. "And remember, their respect for tradition and procedure is paramount. Your approach must be tactful, yet firm. We've arranged for you to meet with some of the minor members before the main session. It could help to build a coalition." Jack nodded, his mind racing with potential strategies. "Thanks, Sarah, Leo. I'll need all the insights I can get. Building some alliances might soften the larger members' stance and give us some breathing room." Later, as Jack prepared for departure at the spaceport, Marcus approached him, his expression solemn. "Jack, Earth can afford the kind of tribute they're talking about. It's not just about resources, it's about maintaining our autonomy. We're counting on you to get that point across." Jack boarded the shuttle that would take him to the Council's starbase, the gravity of his task settling in. As the Earth receded in the shuttle's rear view, Jack reviewed his notes and the data pads filled with cultural profiles, economic reports, and historical precedents. The shuttle journey was quiet, the silence a stark contrast to the bustling spaceport. Jack used the time to strategize, occasionally exchanging messages with Leo and Sarah, who offered last-minute advice and encouragement. Upon arriving at the starbase, Jack was greeted by a protocol officer, a tall, wiry man from another member species, named Thalrix. "Welcome, Delegate Turner. I am here to assist you during your stay." Jack smiled, extending a hand. "Thank you, Thalrix. I'm looking forward to learning from all the members here. Any advice on how to navigate the first meeting?" Thalrix's eyes twinkled with a hint of mischief. Every species has its own quirks, but they all value courage and clever words. Show them that humanity is capable of both, and you will earn their respect." As they walked through the corridors of the starbase, Jack felt a surge of determination. He was not just here to defend Earth's interests but to prove that humanity had a unique value to bring to the Galactic Council. The challenge was daunting, but Jack was ready to meet it head-on. Jack stepped into the Grand Council chamber, a massive structure that seemed to float amidst a sea of stars, visible through the transparent dome overhead. The chamber was bustling with delegates from across the galaxy, each representing their civilization with distinct attire and languages that filled the air with an exotic cacophony. At Jack's side, Thalrix gestured towards a group of beings with shimmering blue skin and elongated limbs. "Those are the Delegrins, known for their trade networks. They might be sympathetic to your situation if you appeal to economic benefits." Jack nodded, taking in the advice, as they approached the seating area designated for Earth. Nearby, a gruff-looking delegate from a warrior species, identified by his translator device as General Vrux from the planet Kragner, was watching him closely. "General Vrux," Jack extended his hand, which Vrux eyed suspiciously before taking it in a firm grip. "I'm Jack Turner, representing Earth." Vrux's deep voice rumbled through the translator. "Earth, a young member. You face a heavy burden today. Kragner respects strength, show that, and you may find allies even in unlikely places." "Thank you, General. I intend to stand firm," Jack replied, appreciating the straightforward advice. As the meeting commenced, the chair of the council, an elegant figure with an air of authority, called the room to order. "We gather here to discuss the contributions of our new members. The tribute is essential for our collective security and prosperity. Each member's share has been calculated based on their capabilities and economic standing." Jack listened as one delegate after another either voiced their support for the council's demands or shared their grievances. It was his turn to speak, and the chamber quieted, curious to hear from the newest member. "Honorable delegates," Jack began, his voice steady, "Earth is committed to the ideals of the Galactic Council. However, we must appeal for consideration of our current capabilities. We are prepared to contribute, but the demands placed upon us are disproportionate to our economic state." A murmur ran through the chamber. A delegate from a technologically advanced planet, Dr. Farron, who had been observing quietly, leaned forward. "And what does Earth propose as a fair contribution, given your state?" Jack met his gaze. "We propose a phased approach to our tribute, beginning with what we can offer now and increasing as our economy grows. We also offer our unique human perspectives and innovations in various fields as part of our contribution." Dr. Farron nodded thoughtfully. "A reasonable approach. Innovation is as valuable as material wealth, perhaps more in some cases." The discussion opened up, with various delegates chiming in. General Vrox, surprisingly, spoke in support. "The human proposes a warrior's compromise: start smaller, but grow stronger." Kragner sees wisdom in this. As the debate continued, Thalrix leaned over to Jack. "Well done. You've turned the conversation. Let's see how we can build on this momentum." The session adjourned with no final decision, but the seeds of dialogue had been sown. Jack and Thalrix spent the next hours meeting with other delegates, explaining Earth's position and gathering support. That evening, as the starbase's artificial lights mimicked the setting of a sun, Jack met with General Vrox and Dr. Farron in a quieter setting to forge a more personal connection and discuss potential alliances. General Vrox clapped Jack on the shoulder. "You speak well, human. Kragner respects strength, not just of arms but of mind. We will support your proposal at the next session." Dr. Farron, more reserved, also nodded in agreement. "Your innovative spirit is intriguing. I look forward to seeing what Earth can bring to our collective advancements." As they parted ways, Jack felt a cautious optimism. The challenge was far from over, but tonight, he had made allies, and Earth's voice had been heard. The path ahead was clearer, and Jack was ready to navigate the complexities of galactic diplomacy. Jack awoke early the next morning, his mind already racing with strategies. After a quick breakfast, he met Thalrix in the lobby of the delegation quarters. Today's agenda was packed with private meetings with influential council members, and each conversation could tip the scale in Earth's favor. First on your schedule is a meeting with Ambassador Silex from the Xyther Federation. They're known for their meticulous record-keeping and hold considerable sway in financial matters within the council, Thalrix informed as they made their way to the ambassador's office. Upon entering the office, they were greeted by Ambassador Silex, a tall figure with a stern countenance, his eyes piercing yet unreadable. "Mr. Turner, I've reviewed your proposal. It is unconventional. Why should the Federation consider supporting it?" Jack offered a respectful nod. "Ambassador, Earth may be new to the Council, but we bring fresh perspectives and innovative solutions that could benefit all. By supporting our phased approach, you're investing in a partner who'll grow more capable and contributive over time." Silex paused, assessing Jack's words. "Innovation is valuable, indeed. But we must also consider our immediate needs. What assurances can you offer that Earth will fulfill its increased contributions in the future?" Before Jack could reply, Thalrix interjected, "Perhaps Earth could host a joint technological summit. It would showcase our advancements and commitment firsthand to all council members." Silex considered this. "A summit could be persuasive if executed well. I will take your proposal under advisement." Though non-committal, his tone suggested that the idea had made an impression. Their next meeting was with Delegate Torm from the agrarian colonies of Helion. Torm's quarters were filled with lush greenery, a stark contrast to the metallic surroundings of the starbase. "Jack Turner, a pleasure," Torm greeted them warmly. "I hear you're proposing changes to the tribute system. How does that benefit agricultural worlds like Helion?" Jack was prepared for this. "Delegate Torm, Helion's expertise in sustainable agriculture is legendary. Perhaps Earth could facilitate an exchange program sharing knowledge on crop resilience against changing climates. This would be part of our non-monetary contributions, strengthening both our worlds." Torm's expression brightened. "An exchange program, you say? That could indeed be beneficial. Your proposal sounds more appealing by the minute." The meetings continued throughout the day, with Jack and Thalrix navigating the complex web of galactic diplomacy. As the sun set over the starbase, they debriefed in a quiet corner of a communal lounge. "Jack, today was productive, but we're not out of the woods yet," Thalrix said, sipping on a steaming cup of a local herbal infusion. Jack nodded, tired yet determined. "We've made some headway, But the real test will be at tomorrow's session. I think we've got a fighting chance if we can just keep the momentum." Just then, General Vrox joined them, his heavy steps echoing on the metallic floor. "Turner, I've been speaking with some of my allies about your Earth stance. There's respect for your tenacity. Keep pushing. Your words today stirred more support than you might realize." Encouraged by Vrox's words, Jack felt a surge of renewed purpose. "Thank you, General. Your support means a lot. Tomorrow, we'll see if we've done enough to sway the Council." As they parted ways, Jack reflected on the day's progress. The challenges were daunting, but the potential rewards for Earth and its place in the Council were immense. Tomorrow's session would be critical, and Jack knew he had to bring his best to ensure Earth's voice was not just heard, but respected and considered. Jack started the next day with a sense of cautious optimism. His schedule was less hectic, allowing for deeper reflection and strategy adjustments before the upcoming Council session. Thalrix suggested they visit the Starbase's cultural archive to better understand the historical contributions of various civilizations to the Council. It was here that Jack unexpectedly crossed paths with Lyra, a historian from the archives. Lyra was a man from a newly inducted civilization known for its rich historical knowledge but minimal political influence. He approached Jack with a friendly demeanor. "You must be Jack Turner from Earth. I've heard about your proposal." It stirred quite the discussion. Jack smiled, extending his hand. "Yes, that's me. And you are?" "Lyra, I work here in the archives. My people value history deeply. It shapes our present and future. Perhaps your Earth does the same?" As they walked through the halls filled with artifacts and ancient texts, Jack and Lyra discussed the nuances of their respective cultures. Lyra's insights into historical patterns of Council politics were enlightening. Every civilization brings something unique to the Council. "They will see that in Earth too, given time and understanding," Lyra noted, stopping in front of a particularly old manuscript. "I hope so. Right now, it feels like we're on trial, having to prove our worth," Jack admitted, feeling a bit more relaxed in Lyra's company. Lyra chuckled. "That's not uncommon. My people went through similar trials. It's like a rite of passage here. Stick to your values, it's your strongest suit." Their conversation was interrupted by a message on Jack's communicator. It was from Thalrix, reminding him of an informal pre-session gathering with several influential delegates. Jack invited Lyra to join them, seeing an opportunity to introduce a fresh perspective to his growing circle of alliances. At the gathering, Jack introduced Lyra to Thalrix, General Vrox, and Dr. Farron. The group welcomed him warmly, intrigued by his knowledge of galactic history. "Lyra brings a depth of historical insight that could benefit our discussions," Jack explained as he led the group in a discussion about potential collaborative projects beyond mere economic contributions. Dr. Farron was particularly interested. "Your understanding of historical successes and failures could help us forge more sustainable policies. What do you think, Lyra? Could your archival knowledge help guide us?" "Absolutely," Lyra responded, his eyes lighting up. "History isn't just about what happened, it's about learning from those events. For example, the Galar Treaty of 2335 succeeded because it was based on mutual benefits beyond immediate gain, something Earth's proposal seems to resonate with." The group nodded in agreement, seeing the parallels and the potential of incorporating a long-term view into the current negotiations. As the gathering wrapped up, General Vrox clapped Jack and Lyra on their backs. "You've both brought something unique to the table today. Let's see if the Council is ready for a bit of historical wisdom." Jack felt a surge of gratitude towards Lyra. Their unexpected alliance had not only broadened his network but also deepened his understanding of the Council's dynamics. Walking back to his quarters with Lyra, Jack felt more prepared for the Council session than ever before. "Thank you, Lyra. Today you've given me and the Council a lot to think about." Lyra smiled. "Glad to be of help, Jack. Remember, the Council is not just about politics, it's about people who can learn from each other. Keep showing them that, and Earth will find its place." As they parted ways, Jack reflected on the day's achievements. The alliances he was forming were not just strategic but personal, bringing together diverse beings with a common goal of mutual respect and collaboration. The upcoming session now seemed a little less daunting, with new friends and allies by his side. The Council chamber buzzed with a tension that was almost palpable as delegates from across the galaxy filed in for what promised to be a pivotal session. Jack, accompanied by Thalrix and now Lyra, took his seat, his mind focused on the task ahead. General Vrox approached Jack, his heavy footsteps echoing on the metallic floor. "Today is the day, Turner. Remember, strength is not just in demands, but in the words chosen to convey them." Jack nodded, grateful for the General's advice. I'll keep that in mind, General. Thank you. As the session commenced, the chair of the council revisited the purpose of the meeting. We are here to finalize the contributions of our newer members. Let us proceed with clarity and purpose. One by one, delegates presented their arguments, some seeking leniency, others advocating for stricter adherence to the proposed contributions. When it was Jack's turn, he rose, feeling the weight of countless expectant gazes upon him. Esteemed members of the council, Jack began, his voice clear and steady. Earth understands the need for contributions that support our collective endeavors. However, we must advocate for assessments that reflect each civilization's capacity to contribute without compromising its growth. A murmur of agreement and dissent rippled through the chamber. Jack continued, we propose a model where contributions are not just measured in material wealth but in shared knowledge and mutual development investments in our collective future. Delegate Torm from Helion nodded in support, clearly resonating with the proposal's emphasis on growth and sustainability. Dr. Farron interjected, while the proposal is commendable, how do you suggest we implement such a model without setting a precedent that might encourage minimal contributions? Jack was prepared for this. By creating a framework that assesses not only economic output but also contributions in research, technology, and cultural exchanges. This would encourage a richer, more diverse contribution system that grows over time. The discussion grew heated, with various delegates voicing their concerns and support. It was then that Jack decided to distill his argument into a single, powerful word. What we are asking for, he paused, letting the silence draw the attention of the chamber, is respect. The word hung in the air, simple yet profound. Respect for each civilization's current state and potential. Respect for a system that sees beyond numbers and values growth and diversity. Ambassador Silex, previously non-committal, leaned forward. Respect, he mused aloud. A concept as old as the Council itself, yet often overlooked. Your point is well taken, Mr. Turner. The session continued with renewed vigor, the delegates now discussing how respect could be integrated into the tribute system. Jack's single word had shifted the tone of the debate, steering it towards constructive solutions rather than fixed demands. As the session adjourned for a break, Lear approached Jack, a smile of approval on his face. Well done, Jack. Sometimes, one word can indeed speak louder than a lengthy discourse. Jack chuckled, feeling a mix of relief and anticipation. Thanks, Lyra. Let's hope it resonates enough to make a difference. Thalrix joined them, his expression one of cautious optimism. It's a good start, Jack. But there's more work to do. We need to solidify this concept of respect into something tangible that the Council can vote on. The trio spent the rest of the break strategizing their next steps, ready to turn the philosophical appeal into actionable policies. Jack felt a sense of camaraderie and purpose that bolstered his confidence as they returned to the chamber to continue the debate. With each word and exchange, Jack was not just advocating for Earth but was helping to weave a new fabric of understanding that might one day define the Galactic Council itself. As the delegates reconvened, the chamber was filled with an air of anticipation. The word respect had sparked a vigorous debate, and many were eager to see how it would influence the Council's final decisions. Jack, Thalrix, and Lyra huddled together, discussing their strategy for the next phase of the session. General Rux joined them, his expression serious. The concept of respect has taken hold, but it's fragile. You'll need to cement it with solid arguments and practical examples, he advised, his voice low and resonant. Jack nodded, taking in the General's advice. I plan to. We need to show that this isn't just idealism, it's a viable path forward. As the session resumed, the chair called for detailed discussions on how to integrate the concept of respect into the tribute system. Jack was among the first to speak. Thank you, Chair. To embody respect in our system, we propose a tiered contribution model. Each civilization's contribution would initially be set according to their economic capabilities and potential for growth. This acknowledges where they are and supports where they could go, Jack explained, projecting graphs and economic models on the screens around the chamber. Ambassador Silex raised a hand. Mr. Turner, while this model is intriguing, how do you propose we reassess and adjust these contributions over time? Jack responded, we suggest a regular review process, every 5 years, with adjustments based on economic growth, technological advancements, and cultural contributions. This ensures that no civilization is overburdened or under-contributing as circumstances evolve. Dr. Farron, who had been a strong supporter of rigorous contribution requirements, chimed in, and what mechanisms do you propose to ensure compliance and transparency in this model? That's a great question, Jack acknowledged. We recommend the establishment of an independent review board, comprised of representatives from various civilizations. This board would not only oversee the assessments but also ensure that contributions are used effectively and transparently. The proposal sparked a flurry of discussion among the delegates, with various members weighing the merits and challenges of such a system. Delegate Torm from Helion was particularly supportive. This model encourages growth and cooperation, rather than merely demanding tribute. It could transform the way we work together. As the debate continued, Lyra leaned over to Jack. Your proposal is gaining traction. But remember, turning these ideas into policy will require continued advocacy and negotiation. Jack felt the weight of his words. I know. This is just the beginning. But I believe we're on the right path. The session stretched into hours as delegates discussed, debated, and slowly shaped the future of the Council's tribute system. By the time the chair called for a preliminary vote, there was a sense of accomplishment in the air. Jack watched as the votes were cast. The majority supported the new model, a testament to the Council's willingness to embrace change and respect for diverse contributions. As the delegates began to disperse, General Rux approached Jack, a rare smile on his face. Well argued, Turner. You've not only represented Earth well but you've contributed to a fairer system for all. Thalrix, ever the strategist, was already looking ahead. Jack, this is a major step, but there's still much to do. We need to start planning for the review board and how Earth can continue to influence its development. Jack agreed, his mind already turning to the next challenges. Let's set up meetings with our key supporters first thing tomorrow. We'll need all the allies we can get. As they left the chamber, Jack felt a surge of hope and determination. The day had been long and the debates intense, but they had achieved something significant not just for Earth, but for the entire Galactic Council. The corridors of the starbase hummed with energy as news of the Council's decision rippled through the delegations. The atmosphere was charged with a mix of satisfaction and apprehension about the future implementation of the new tribute system. Jack, Thalrix, and Lyra were at the forefront, engaging in discussions and planning meetings with various delegates. Early in the morning, Jack and Thalrix met in a quiet lounge to prepare for a day of strategic collaborations. General Rux joined them, his presence commanding attention. Turner, yesterday was a victory. Now, we solidify that victory with clear action plans. What's your first move? Jack adjusted his datapad, displaying a list of delegates they plan to meet. We're meeting with Ambassador Silex first. His influence can help us shape the independent review board's structure and function. Thalrix nodded. We need to ensure that the board is balanced and truly independent. Silex's experience in interstellar law could be invaluable. The trio made their way to Ambassador Silex's office, where the ambassador greeted them with a newfound respect. Mr. Turner, your proposal has introduced a new era for the Council. I am intrigued by the idea of this review board. How can I assist? Jack laid out their plan. We envision a board that not only monitors contributions but also advises on economic strategies to help civilizations grow. Your expertise could help draft the foundational laws that govern this body. Silex was thoughtful, steepling his fingers. A challenging task, but necessary. I will aid in drafting these laws. It is crucial that they are robust and adaptable. Their meeting extended over an hour as they delved into the legal complexities. Leaving Silex's office, General Rux seemed pleased. That went well. Silex will be a strong ally in this. Next, they met with Delegate Torm, who was enthusiastic about the agricultural exchange programs. Jack, the proposal yesterday was just the beginning. Let's talk about how we can implement these exchange programs as part of our contribution. In Torm's vibrant, plant-filled office, they discussed potential pilot projects and funding sources. We could start with a small-scale program, testing different agricultural techniques on Earth and Helion, Jack suggested. Torm agreed, his eyes bright. I will gather data from our best agronomists. This is an opportunity to show that our contributions are not just monetary but can be mutually beneficial. As the day progressed, Jack and his team met with other delegates, each conversation building on the momentum of the previous. The support for the new system grew, not just as a diplomatic necessity but as a model that could redefine interstellar cooperation. Late in the afternoon, Lyra pulled Jack aside. You've started something significant, Jack. But remember, the true success will come from how well we implement these ideas. Jack acknowledged this with a nod. I know. We're planning a conference on Earth to discuss implementation. We'll need every ally we can muster. As they returned to their quarters, Thalrix looked over the notes from the day. We've laid a lot of groundwork today. Tomorrow, We need to start formalizing these plans, getting commitments in writing. Jack felt the weight of their achievements and the challenges ahead. We'll do it. One step at a time. Today showed that the council is ready for change. Now we have to lead by example. The day had been long, but the foundations they had built were strong. As the starbase's artificial night began to fall, Jack felt a quiet confidence about the future. The next steps would be crucial, and he was ready to lead Earth through them, ensuring their place not just in the Council but as a leader in a new era of galactic cooperation. The final session of the Galactic Council was about to begin, and the atmosphere was one of cautious optimism mixed with the usual diplomatic formality. Jack, accompanied by Thalrix and Lyra, made their way to the Council chamber. They were joined by General Rux and Dr. Farron, who had become pivotal allies in the efforts to reform the tribute system. As they settled into their seats, Jack reviewed his notes one last time. Today, they would finalize the framework for the Independent Review Board and the implementation details of the new contribution system. His heart raced with the anticipation of seeing their hard work come to fruition. General Rux leaned over, his voice a low rumble. "Turner, remember, today it's about locking in commitments. We've stirred the waters, now we guide the ship safely to port." Jack nodded in agreement as the chair called the session to order. "We are here to finalize the establishment of the Independent Review Board and the detailed plans for our new contribution system. Let us proceed with the same spirit of cooperation that has brought us to this point." Dr. Farron was the first to speak, outlining the proposed structure of the Review Board. The board will consist of members from various civilizations, each serving a staggered term to ensure continuity and impartiality. Its primary function will be to assess the contributions based on economic growth, technological advancement, and cultural exchanges. Ambassador Silex, who had taken a keen interest in the legal framework, added, "We have drafted the initial bylaws that will govern the board. These laws are designed to adapt to evolving economic landscapes and ensure that all members are treated fairly." As the council members discussed the bylaws, Jack felt a surge of pride. The ideas that had started as a desperate plea for fairness were now being codified into Galactic Council law. Delegate Torm raised a practical concern. "While I support this new system, we must also consider the logistics of these cultural and technological exchanges. How will we manage and fund these initiatives?" Jack was ready with an answer. "We propose the creation of a special fund, supported by voluntary contributions from wealthier civilizations, to kickstart these programs. Earth will host the first conference to plan these initiatives, ensuring transparency and collaboration from the start." The suggestion was well received, sparking a lively discussion on potential funding mechanisms and incentives for contributors. Lyra chimed in, "These initiatives will strengthen our council not just economically but also socially and culturally. It's an investment in our collective future." As the session drew to a close, the chair called for a vote. One by one, the delegates cast their support for the new system. The measures were approved with overwhelming support, a testament to the hard work and collaborative spirit of the council members. As the delegates applauded, Jack exchanged smiles with his team. They had done it, transformed a system of burdens into one of mutual growth and respect. After the session, as they walked back to their quarters, General Rux clapped Jack on the shoulder. "You've done well, human. You've shown that even the newest members of the council can lead change." Jack felt a deep sense of fulfillment. "Thank you, General. It was a team effort. And there's more work ahead to ensure these plans succeed." Thalrix nodded. "Indeed, the real work starts now. But today, we celebrate what we've achieved, a new dawn for the Council and for Earth." As they looked out at the star-filled sky from the starbase, the future seemed bright. The Council had not only accepted Earth's proposals but had embraced a new way of thinking about contributions and cooperation. For Jack, this was just the beginning of a long journey in galactic diplomacy.